This is Scott Laird with D'Addario, and this lesson will be on seated playing position for violists. Now, a lot of people wonder, when should I sit to play and when should I stand to play? And I like to use the general rule of when I'm practicing solo literature or my lesson music, I stand to play. And when I'm practicing or playing orchestral music, I sit to play. So in other words, we sit to play music that will ultimately be performed sitting, and we stand to play music that will ultimately be performed standing. So, seated playing position. First thing I always tell the students in my orchestra is we would never sit facing straight ahead right on the front edge of the chair to play. If I were to do that and try to watch the conductor and do all the things that need to happen in an orchestra, my playing position would be really strange. So the first thing I have orchestral or seated students do is to turn their body a quarter of a turn to the right. So if you're sitting in a chair, you want to get up to the front edge of the chair and turn a quarter of a turn to the right. This will mean that your right foot will be essentially behind the front legs of the chair. So it can sit like this. Now this really makes things work well in a string quartet situation or in an orchestral situation because bows aren't hitting each other, and it really just makes the whole ensemble experience quite comfortable. So front right corner of the chair, and from there everything is the same as it is in the standing position. And in fact, I always tell students from the waist up we should have the same posture whether we're standing or sitting. So, instrument, grab the instrument at the shoulder, bring it between my jaw and my shoulder, strings parallel to the ground, and we're still lining up our nose, our scroll, our elbow, and toe. I'm pointing the scroll directly at the music stand, and in fact, if I've got a conductor conducting, I can look up to the conductor, right back to the music stand without any major motion at all. So I'm really lining the conductor up in this too. One thing that I've found as students move to larger size instruments and are really reaching out to the end of a viola, sometimes that notion of the strings being parallel to the ground can be relaxed ever so slightly. You should always be comfortable when you're playing, and some violists find that in order to make the reaches that they need to make, they need to bring that instrument down just a little bit. Now, it's really important that you don't bring the instrument really far down, so far that you're resting your elbow on your belly. If you're doing that, you're really not playing with a good playing position. But that notion of those strings being parallel to the ground can be relaxed ever so slightly. I think the key here is that a student or a musician should never play in a circumstance where it hurts to play. And if you are playing and it feels really uncomfortable to be stretching out there, you probably have an instrument that's too big for you. So I really encourage you to make sure that you have the right size instrument as well. Go ahead and try some of these techniques, and we'll see you the next time.